Welcome back, Shalligators. Today we're finally going to talk about Kylie Jenner being pregnant with baby number 2. And usually I do things as they break, it's the whole point of this channel. I mean, I haven't really this summer because this is my summer of slacking, and boy, have I lived up to it. But I kind of wanted to wait a few days to talk about Kylie because I was kind of hoping she would maybe confirm it or say something. But this is how the Kardashians go. Sorry, there's a pillow. They don't really confirm things. They let so much media speculation build up, and then they're like, we are divorcing. And then they bitch about the narrative. It's like, you could come out and correct people. Whatever, I digress. So I asked you guys on Instagram, follow me at shallonxo, as I always ask for your suggestions. What's the topic here? Because we've done a video before. Can a baby change a fuck boy? Can a baby save a relationship? Can it make someone mature? And we talked about it, and it's no, maybe. But that is a hell of a roll of the dice, right? And if you want to roll the dice on changing a fuckboy, maybe do it with your own life and not the life of a child who came into this world I just got here. What is this agenda? I've got to change Casey from a hoe into a housewife? Okay, mom, right? We don't need to be doing that. So I wondered what you guys wanted to see. And the big topic, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. The pros and cons of being a young parent. And, a little bit of can it change a fuckboy, and just sort of breaking down Kylie and Travis's relationship. Because, hello, last time we all heard from them, they'd broken up, right? And now it's just kidding. There's a baby. What to do when people pressure you about having kids? You'd think that someone like her would be exempt from this pressure to have a kid. But if she's feeling it, I know all of us are feeling it. I know that I am because I'm 1,000 years old. You guys might be because you're young and you don't know where to go in the world. So no matter where you're at in life, you're dealing with this pressure from society, from friends, from family to have a kid. So I'm going to give you some actual responses to people and kind of break down the psychology of why people pressure us. So don't worry, we're going to get all into it. We've got a big announcement. I am back on Flaze, and Flaze is actually now offering live streaming. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Flaze, it's our uncensored ad-free platform where we talk about sex. Evil Week is up there, so we're going to be doing live streams. There is going to be one Wednesday night. Go ahead and tune in. If you're a Flaze subscriber, it's only $5 a month. You get access to all my basically sex tip videos, and they are spicy. So on the live stream, you guys can ask questions. We're going to be talking about sex, and yes, all the live stream videos will save on as a video on Flay, so you can watch them later. But you do have to be a subscriber. So go ahead and click the link below in the bio to sign up and join me this Wednesday evening. It's going to be really super fun. Also, join me in the Dominican Republic. We've got, I think, 3 spaces left on our trip to the Dominican in February. And in September, we're going to be announcing some new trips. Can you guys... Okay, let me ask you right now. Would you rather go to Scotland or Paris? With me, obviously. Would you rather go to Scotland or Paris? Scotland, the towns and then the castles and out in the woods and all that good stuff. And the men, they wear kilts and they don't wear underwear. So, factor that into your decision. Or would you rather go to Paris and then Bordeaux, which is kind of wine country? I don't. Tell me down in the comment section because I'm going to listen to you guys, and we're still hammering out the details. So there's still a few days to help me decide. But we've got some other trips that are ready to be announced. Anyway, let's talk Kylie. All right. So yeah, last time we heard from these two, they had broken up. Now, obviously they have their daughter Stormi, who I love. I only ever want a baby when I see Stormi and Kylie together. They're so cute. Stormi is such a little chicky tendy of a little baby. She's so cute. And so I'm excited that they're going to make another baby who hopefully will be this adorable. You never know though. You never know. I'm sure she's going to be fantastic however he or she comes out, but Stormi's a tough act to follow. Travis, on the other hand, does any Kardashian ever actually get rid of a man? Do they ever actually just break up with someone and push them out of their lives? Or are they all just sort of kept around like a sim? Just waiting to be studded out and used for their sperm or something? And Travis, to me, is the most disposable. I know that you guys like him and his music. I personally don't like his music. Maybe if I did, I would feel differently. I think he is such a dullard. He's almost nonverbal. You know what I'm going to bring up? You know what I'm going to bring up? The video, the interview that him and Kylie did when they were like asking each other, like they were quizzing each other, like, how well do you know me? And they already had a baby and he didn't know the name of her dogs. I will never forget that. Hashtag never forget. I will never forget that because it's so fucking weird. If the father of my children looked at my hound dog and was like, I don't know, who's hey, buddy? I'm like, that's Cowboy. He lives here. You see him every day. Really? Like I don't know if it's drugs or if he's just a simpleton, but I'm like, bro, Kylie, come on. Also, Travis is not hot. He looks very like crusty and he used to be hot. And then I'm just, I don't know. Anyway, same with like Khloe and Tristan Thompson, Kim and Kanye. Like, why have I dated hotter men than anyone in that family? Why have I? My exes, my currents are fucking smokes. They might be douchebags. They might be total douches and monsters. But make no mistake, they are hot and they are high achieving. But I digress. So yeah, we thought these two were over and done. And I love when like newspapers like her on again, off again love, like her on again, off again boyfriend. On again, off again is not the person you want to mate with. Not the person you want to mate with. Do you know why? Because they're probably on and off when the going is good. If a guy is not here for you when there's no real reason for him to be not here or stressed out or whatever, you add another person into the mix, whether that's a side chick, an overbearing mother, or a baby, and things are going to get harder. We've discussed this before when we were talking about like, can a baby turn a hoe into a housewife, basically, like a fuckboy into a parent? And like, I mean, sometimes it settles a guy right down. And there's sort of the old adage, like a woman becomes a mom when she finds out she's pregnant. A man becomes a father when the baby is born. You know, it's like, oh, holy shit. Because it's such like this amorphous concept. It's like, I don't know, she's just kind of getting fat and real bitchy. And that like they can't conceptualize it until the baby is here. So yeah, maybe it can settle down someone. But we've talked about a third party. Now, polygamy, sister wives, plural marriage, that is considered like, oh, so taboo and so crazy. You'd want your husband to have another wife? Okay, well, think about it. That other wife, Linda Dolores, she's bringing something to the table. Resources, she's helping with the housework. She's talking about different things at the dinner table. She's fucking him when you're like, don't touch me. I've had a bunch of Chipotle, right? There's obviously issues, but she's bringing stuff. A baby is also a third party, but all it does is take. Well, it brings you love. Okay, well, a Cocker Spaniel brings you love. It doesn't chew your nipples off, right? And drain your finances in the same way. We cannot deny that a baby is a stressor on a relationship. And in fact, studies have confirmed this. And what studies also show, and I remember this so much from my parenting and marriage class in college, and I went back to this statistic recently, is that marital satisfaction is measurably higher, like relationship satisfaction, if couples wait 3 years to have a baby after they get married. 3 years, right? And presumably, that study was assuming that you don't meet your spouse the day you marry them. It's not a married at first sight thing. You knew them priorly. You probably even dated them, okay? So this 3 years where you're getting to know each other, I mean, not getting to know each other, you're getting into the rhythm of marriage, you're learning how to be as a married couple, that comes after the average 1.5 years of relationship before you get married. And 1.5 years is like very, very short when you think about it. Most people are engaged for a year. It takes a long time to plan a wedding, and most people don't get engaged after 6 months. So usually you're together for 2-3 years, then you get married, you add on another 3 years. You know each other for a good solid chunk of time. You've at this point either grown together or grown apart. Your frontal lobe has fucking closed because it doesn't close until, age 25? I'm saying this because Kylie and Travis had a baby after not 3 years, 4 years, 3 months or 4 months. I mean, maybe not even that long. It seems like they'd hooked up a few times and she's like, whoops-a-daisy. So they were not only co-parenting and doing that and throwing a third party into the mix while they were trying to get to know each other. And it's interesting. I mean, obviously they've semi made it work. Who even knows what's going on with those two? But you cannot deny that while it might be cool to be like a young parent, it certainly is going to present its set of challenges given the fact you lack the time to have gotten to know someone. You have a baby at 23. You haven't known people for 5 years. Was Kylie even 23? Wasn't she 19? Something like that. Like, she was so young. So it's like, there is not enough hours in the day to really know what you're getting into. I had a sorority sister who got pregnant. And I mean, you know, did you guys do a candle passing? Do you guys do those in sororities where it's like you pass the candle the first time and it's like a boy pinned you? It's like from the 50s, like no one gets pinned anymore. And the second time is you're engaged. And so we had it. So it's like exciting. It's like the candle pass. And then the girl who it is, like she blows the candle out. It's all very like druid and weird and actually pretty boring. But when the candle goes around a third time, someone's pregnant. So the candle goes around the first time and we're like, oh, like if someone's got a boyfriend. Okay, no one blew it out. Then it goes around a second time. You're like, wait, someone's engaged and no one blows it out. And then everyone's like, wait, what the fuck? Someone's pregnant? And we're all looking at each other like, and a girl, I will never forget this moment. This girl blew the candle out and we were like we didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Like I was quite frankly horrified. It seemed like a hellscape. And I called my mom and I was like, oh my God, like what is happening? And she's like, you know, the years of her life that were supposed to be very fun are going to be very hard. But she'll figure it out. Like, it isn't the end of the world. And that's just, everything's going to kind of be flip-flopped. And that always stuck with me. Like, I don't know why, like, society kind of glorifies the trope of the young mom. It's like, I want to be a young mom. I don't. I want to be, like, the very last possible day of fertility. It's like, okay, today. Who gives a shit if you're moving your kid into college when you're 45 or 55? Like, really, who cares? But having a baby at 18 or 28 is a huge difference, you know? And there's this sort of, and I hear women say that. It's like, well, you know, I want to have a baby now and then focus on my career. I had someone say that to me the other day. Paula. Hi, Paula. One of my fans. We met in Tulum. And, you know, she's like, you know, I have this. I'm sorry if I'm spilling your beans all over the place, Paula, but you're an excellent example of this because you're a bad bitch, but you're also going to be a badass mom. But she's like, I want babies and I need to start thinking about this. And she's like, you know, in her 30s, like totally age appropriate for when we want kids. She's like, but I don't know if I should focus on my career now or focus on it later. And I'm not one of those people who said I was born to be a mom. I did a whole video about this on Flays. And I'm like, look, like people think a career is this thing you can just put on the deep freeze and just like thaw back out when you're ready. And first of all, that is not true. Like there's new people entering the workforce all the time. And if you stop your position at kind of a junior position, by the time you want to go back to it, okay, you're 42. Other people competing for this position are 28. Like they've got a leg up, maybe technologically, maybe they've been hustling, grinding, maybe they've been networking. Like it's not just this thing you can freeze, pause, unless it's your business. And even then, if I took 10 years off of this career, I would not assume that I would have one to go back to. It was stressing me out to take 10 weeks off of it. And I didn't, like I can't take 10 days off. Like I can't. And I told her, you know, we think that, oh, I just have to like have the baby and then I go right back to work. No. And I'm like, you know, you're a wonderful, warm, empathetic, nurturing person. You're going to stay home with your babies. Why would you have them if you don't want to like hang out with them and like be around them a lot? Like it's not 9 months. It's maybe not 18 years that you have to put everything on pause, but it is certainly someplace in between. And if we think that, well, I've pushed it out of my body, it's exited on out, my nipples are all chewed up, I'm back. Like I'm back to being an autonomous person with, you know, my own goals. You're always going to be mama. I'm not trying to talk you guys out of kids. Not at all. I'm just trying to dial down this fucking talk that people are foisting on us. Oh, it's great to be a young mom. Yeah, for Kylie Jenner it is. She's a billionaire, right? But like I said at the beginning of this video, Kylie said something that that really stuck out to me in an interview last March, I think, whatever, in 2020, because the interviewer was like, oh, are you planning on having more kids? And it rankled me that the interviewer even asked that. It's like, this woman is becoming a billionaire. And it's like, but what about your vag? Like, are you shooting anything out of your vag? What's up with that uterus? Is it like no vacancy because there's a baby in there? Would anyone ask that of a man? Did people ask that of Elon Musk? No. Did they ask that of Jeff Bezos? No. Did they even ask it of like Jason fucking Sudeikis? No. They only ask women. And yes, of course, we're the ones who have the babies, but it's like, can you stop reducing me to my genitals? This is why I don't like, people like my pronouns. No one gives a shit about your genitals enough. Like, define yourself by something else. And Kylie's been trying. And her answer kind of resonated. She's like, my friends pressure me about this all the time. They love Stormy and they definitely want more little Stormies, and I want to give her a sibling, but right now there's no plan. And I thought, man, again, like if Kylie, who can point to such a busy career life as an excuse of why I'm not shooting babies out of my vagina like a clay pigeons, if she's getting this pressure, what hope do any of us have? Like, are we not all feeling this so much? I am, because like I said, I'm older. All my friends have kids. Like, all my friends in New York don't, because that's simply not how New York works. It's not conducive to having kids, and people don't move to Manhattan to birth. They move to work. And my friends who do have kids, they leave. It's a hard-ass place to raise kids, and it's like, why would I stay here? But all my friends in Montana have kids, except for one. Maddie doesn't. But she's young. She's like 28, so she might change her mind, I'm older, and I get this a lot, especially from new friends. My friends now, like, they know my party line on it, but the new ones are like, you don't have kids? Why? And I always say, just lucky, I guess. That's my go-to response, just lucky. Or if someone's really pissing me off, I'm like, oh, I've had like 13 abortions. All late term. Well, there's not really a term for how late of a term it is, but yeah. Makes them back the fuck off. Because I don't appreciate inquiries about my uterus. I don't appreciate inquiries about, are you vaccinated? It's my body. Why don't you leave me alone? Leave me alone. But this is something I realized. People are awkward. We're all just a bunch of goobers drifting through life trying to make it work. We are all very awkward. We're bad at small talk. We're anxious. We're not very socially fluid. And sometimes we literally just don't know what to say to people. I have found myself doing this after friends I know who've just gotten married. Are you guys thinking about kids? And I had one friend snap at me. Snap. No, I'm not. I wish everyone would stop asking me that. And I was like, I felt so bad because I hate being asked that. And I said to her, I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I literally just didn't know what else to ask you or talk to you about. So that's just kind of what I said. And she was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. Sometimes people literally don't know what else to say. Like, if you have friends who have been together a long time dating, do you guys think you're getting engaged? That could be a very like triggering thing for them, but you're just kind of making conversation. So when people ask us this, I take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of awkward salt. Just sprinkle that whole thing with the salt of awkwardness. They might just not know what else to say to you. And they might be coming from their own place. Maybe they're getting a ton of pressure from their family to have kids. And so they want to hear, they want a comrade here. Maybe they want to hear, it's like, dude, no, I don't want kids and I'm getting all this pressure. So they can say like, oh my God, so am I. I thought I was the only one. No. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe they really want a baby and they feel like nobody else does. And they want to hear like, I'm dying for a kid. Oh my God, me too. We're all just looking for connection, right? And so when people say these things to you, ask yourself, is this coming from a place of them trying to form a connection? Either it's a small talk situation, they don't know what else to say, or they're looking for some companionship and some camaraderie in this issue that maybe they feel alone on. And you have the right to flip it back. No, are you going to have more? Now, see, I've flipped things back in a really bitchy and harsh way, surprise, surprise, in the past When I've had people like, because normally people like, they ask me, do you want kids? And I'm like, no. They're like, really? I'm like, my mind might change. I'm not chiseling it into a stone tablet, but where we are now, I am A-okay. I've got a dog, and that's a lot of responsibility, so I'm good. 99.9% of people are like, hey man, you don't have to have kids. It's a hell of a lot of work. Good for you. Live your life. Because people who have kids, they know. But that 0.001% got something to say about it. They got something to say about my uterus, my fallopian tubes, and whether or not they're just taking up space here in my torso, not really earning their keep. And they're like, don't you like want kids? You don't like want that? And I pop back and say, don't you want to write 2 books through Random House before you're 27? You didn't want that? Don't you want a career? Don't you want millions of fans around the world? Don't you want to feel like your life has meaning besides something you've shot out of your body? Like that's an accomplishment? I go for the fucking throat because I don't want people diminishing what I've done because, she doesn't have kids. Shut the fuck up. But the people who say those things to me, they're not people I know, and they're not people I love, and they're not people who know me. Like if you know me like at all, you should know that like my career is paramount to me. I get so much joy and fulfillment from this job that I do. It's my identity. I'm a fucking nerd. And one of my best friends, because she's getting like baby pressure from her parents, and I think I've told you guys this before, but like we grew up in the same town and we were like straight A. She went to Georgetown, computer science, like just powerhouse of a woman. And every girl I know is like that. And her parents like, when you have a baby, and she finally was like, do you know what you raised? A nerd. And you know what nerds do? They work. They don't birth. I didn't get computer science degrees to come home and just be a stay-at-home mom. Like that's not what I was bred to do. I do what I'm sent to, and it's work. And I say the same thing. It's like, wait a minute. You've put me on this nerd path for all these years, and then suddenly it's like, well, actually, you know what actually you should be doing? It's like, wait a minute. I thought I was supposed to be achieving, and I was actually supposed to be making like Pinterest boards of like baby showers and weddings? Fuck, man, since when? And you know what? God bless the women who can do both. God bless them. I just don't think I'm one of them. I don't. I can multitask a lot of things. You know, we got the business octopus. But I don't know that I could multitask this career and a baby. And I don't know that I have to. I think I can recognize my limitations and say, no, I'm too much of a narcissist. I enjoy my alone time. I enjoy silence. I'm an only child. It doesn't mean I had a bad childhood. Doesn't mean there was trauma. I had a fantastic childhood. I'm super close with my family. It means that simply isn't my path. We talk a lot about paths here. We talk a lot about authenticity, right? That there's no right decision or wrong decision in life. There's only authentic or inauthentic. So let's say this pressure is coming from not strangers, not even friends, but people like family. I go so hard on the pro-career rhetoric around here because I know how hard society is going on the pro-marriage and baby rhetoric. It is born with, it is everywhere. We're little girls. We have dollies that we take care of. I'm a mommy to a dolly. Not like we should, gender roles. Play with whatever the fuck you want, okay? But we get that message loud and clear. Girls have not, and the tide is changing, but historically we have not gotten the message. Go out and work. What are your dreams? What do you want to achieve? Even if it's not work, is there a hobby? Is there creativity? What's inside you that needs to come out? Who do you need to be? And for some people it is, I need to be a mom. Okay, great. But you already have the seal of approval from society. Like you do. You have the seal of approval from every religion, right? Every old generation is like delighted when you have a baby. That is very much shipped. For the other sector of us who are the nerds, we're trying to navigate through life. Okay, well, I'm an alpha, I'm an achiever. Am I also a mom? So let's say you're getting this pressure. You can tell your family or your loved ones what I told mine. Like, you raised a nerd, man. You quit moving the goalpost. I can only do so much. I can only do so much. You can point out, it's like, well, Mom, you stayed home and raised kids. Did you ever get an electrical engineering degree like I am? Okay, so if you want to go back to school and get that and then import a baby into that life, then we can talk. Until you walk a mile in my shoes, I don't really want to hear it. Now that's the harsh, bitchy way, right? And you know, harsh and bitchy can be my default setting. Oh, evil week is coming. But here's what you can say otherwise, right? You can meet them from a place of, again, assuming there's a connection that they want. Well, what do you mean? Like, they're already my family. Like, we're connected. Okay. Connection in some cases means safety. We've talked about this before with family. Your parents, especially if they're like immigrant parents, they've seen some shit out there in the world, right? They want you to be safe. And they might define safety as a husband and a family. You need a man. He's going to take care of you. A baby, it's going to give you purpose. You're not going to feel lost. You're not going to be out partying and maybe drinking and getting hurt and ba. So what you can say to them is, Mom, I understand where you're coming from. I understand that you think having a baby is going to fulfill me. Because my mom said this to me. She's like, I just really think like you would feel so much more confident and so much more grounded if you had a baby. And I'm like, maybe. But bro, maybe not. And again, like, that's a hell of a roll of the dice. That's maybe not. Maybe I have to find my own confidence in life. Maybe I have to ground myself through healthy habits. Maybe I can't bring a baby into the world with that agenda. I mean, but that was her experience with having me. It grounded her. She did a 180. She was like Angelina Jolie, and she's like right down, like, ooh, like mom extraordinaire. I'm like, I don't want a 180 in my life, you know? And that's something you can tell your parents. It's like, I know that you see that this would just like change everything. I don't want everything changed. I like my life. I do feel safe. And Mom, isn't that what you want from me? You want me to be happy, right? Right? Put it back on them. Well, yeah, of course I do. I am happy. I'm not happy 24/7 giggling like an idiot. I'm figuring things out. But I mean, I'm figuring it out, and I get an immense satisfaction from figuring out my own life. And one day things might change, but for now, I'm good. So I don't want to talk about this. If they keep bringing it up, you have the right to set boundaries. Okay, Dad, I'm going to get off the phone. I've told you where I'm at in the baby thing. So I'll see you on Sunday. I love you. Bye. It doesn't have to be slamming down the phone, but it has to be the deployment of consequences. Guys, if you keep bringing up this baby thing, I'm just going to go. Like, I'm not really going to come over for Sunday dinner anymore. It's just exhausting. I don't enjoy these conversations. It could be that they literally don't know what else to talk about. And it might be you might have to come up with talking points at the family gatherings or whatever. But if you can kind of look at people pressuring you through a more empathetic filter, which I know. When you feel like people are pressuring you, it's like, okay, so I don't have the right to run my own life. You know what's best. Got it. You know what's best for me. Also, you're telling me that because I don't have a baby, everything I'm doing is just a pile of jack shit, right? Like, my life is absolutely meaningless, which, by the way, I stay up at night thinking my life might be meaningless too. Like, don't get it twisted that I'm not full of anxiety and spirals at all times. But thank you for validating my worst fears. Got it. I mean, there's so much, and you can communicate that. It's like, Mom, I know, you might just be like talking and like, babies, this is how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like you're not proud of me. And it makes me feel like if I don't give you a grandchild, like I'm just this fundamental, like generational disappointment. Do you feel like that? And you know what? They might say yes. They might say yes. And if they do, fucking brutal, right? I mean, awful. But I would rather you walk in the light of the truth, like, okay, wow, that's what I'm dealing with. This person doesn't think I should be in charge of my life. And they actually don't think this electrical engineering degree means anything. And I only got it because my dad is an electrical engineer and he wanted me to be. So I don't even like this. Because what do we say? We've talked about this before in relation to other things. Hate is freedom. Now, of course, your family doesn't hate you. But what I mean by hate is people who don't respect what you're doing have freed you from the burden of having to please them, right? Well, shit, if it only matters that I have a baby, and I don't have a baby and I don't want a baby right now, why am I getting this degree? Why am I living in this town? Why am I dressing the way? Why am I going to this church? Maybe I should just live my life for myself, actually. If my choices aren't being respected, why am I constantly trying to please this cadre of people? Maybe I can just please myself. It's disappointing. It's incredibly unfair. It is literally plain wrong that someone would make you feel that way. But if that is the deal, it's better to know and to free yourself from that tyranny, right? It's painful. It's painful. I'm not going to pretend that it isn't and that it won't be and that it won't always hurt you. But you might only have to deal with their expectations a few minutes a week. I mean, literally quantify it. You might have to deal, you do have to deal with your own disappointment, your own cognitive dissonance. I hate electrical engineering. I want to be a poet, but this is what I'm saying. I don't want a baby, but I'm in this relationship and he wants to have one. You have to deal with that 24/7. 24/7. That's no way to live, right? So while I'm excited for Kylie that she's having another baby, I'm sure she's excited. And like people were saying, it's like, oh, she's just having kids because she can afford them. Yeah, dude. That you accidentally arrived at the exact right conclusion. And maybe if you can't afford to have kids, you shouldn't have them. I know that that's a hot take, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, whatever. But should people who can't afford kids, should you have to have some sort of financial qualification? I know just how much I spent on Cowboy, my dog. Poor people shouldn't have dogs. If you can't afford to take them to the vet when they're sick, why should they suffer and eat bad food? It's just I don't know. It's a whole philosophical debate, and it's but there's love. Well, there's love, and then there's shoes, and there's food on the table, and there's antibiotics, and there's college, and there's a stable environment, right? There's more than just love that we need in the world. But we absolutely do need love. So I want to know if you guys are feeling the pressure about having babies and stuff like that. Do you think Kylie is rushing into this with Travis? Do you think, because I think there's this Kardashian thing where it's I don't want different baby daddies. They're obsessed with this idea of keeping the same bag of shit as their baby father. Not that, I was thinking of Tristan, not Travis. He's a bag of shit. But it's on one hand, okay, if you guys have a good parenting thing going on and you make cute babies, cool. On the other, stop rewarding these men for their bullshit by entrenching them further into your life. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just, Anyway, like I said, join me on Flay's Wednesday night. It's going to be so much fun. And be sure to join me in the Dominican Republic. I will see you later, Shalligators.